welcome to another edition of the Sports Corner. Rich Estrella here, along with John Conte and Bob Gibson. Welcome. It's Friday night. We are live every Friday, and thank you for joining us. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff that happened this week, stuff that's going to go on possibly next week. John Conte here with his crystal ball. John, you always seem to know what's going on, and then you don't.
Well, no, I definitely do not know what's going on, but I know we're here. We're hanging out at the Lighthouse Studios, Lighthouse Escrow Studios in Irvine. We got a great facility. We're really happy to be talking to you guys on a Friday night. Rich, I'm looking forward to taking phone calls. I think that starts next week.
Yeah, next week we'll be here taking calls live. It'll just be being back like the old days.
You think we're going to get some of those crazy callers that used to call us on Angels Radio? Some of those guys were crazy.
I have a feeling they're following us now on Facebook and Twitter, and of course, YouTube as well. So there's all kinds of places. By the way, LA 36 will be carrying us live as well in about a couple of weeks. So get ready for that. We're going to pick up about 15 million people, John. Well, that's Los Angeles.
That's great. Make sure you call the show because it's much more fun when you're calling, especially bantering with Rich, because Rich doesn't know what he's talking about half
I'll
the time.
Put everybody in their place as always.
Hey, where's Bob Gibson? Is he here?
Bob, you here tonight?
The phone calls don't matter unless Monty from the liquor bank ends up calling us at
He'll
some point.
call.
That's when the phone calls
Monty will find us. Monty will find us.
Monty from the liquor bank privately PMs me every now and then, and yeah, he's looking for. He's the man. He's the man. You know, his business took a hit this year, John.
I think everybody's business took a hit this year with COVID.
Yeah, he found out how to sell it underground, though, so liquor bank's doing just fine. All right, guys, last time we talked last week, we were talking about all the possible trades with the quarterback carousel and the NFL, and I can't believe that Russell Wilson left the confines of Seattle. Maybe because they defunded the cops, and Seattle's a big cesspool now anyway, but he decided to get out of there, and now he's in New York, but it's actually New Jersey because that's where the Jets are basically housed. That's where they play their games. But, John, your reaction to Russell Wilson getting traded to the Jets, and we got Darnold on the move. They're talking about Prescott. What's your assessment of this particular trade, though?
Well, first of all, Russell Wilson was a little bit disgruntled in Seattle. He'd been asking for pieces. He wanted an offensive line. That's what he wants. Look, Russell Wilson is one heck of a good quarterback. And look, Seattle needs to listen when Russell Wilson speaks because he's one of the most underrated players in the NFL. And I got to tell you right now, he needs pieces around him. And when I mean pieces, I mean an offensive line. You keep him upright, good things are going to happen. I don't care who he's playing for.
Well, we told you last week the problem with Seattle is they've never, and I can't understand this, when you've got a great Hall of Fame type quarterback like Russell Wilson, why wouldn't you get some people in front of him to protect him? I just don't understand why Pete Carroll hasn't shored up those holes up front. I'm telling you, the guy is famous for looking at guys with feet and then building from there, but he's converting tight ends, he's converting all kinds of different people, fullbacks, into offensive linemen, and it's just not going to work. And I don't blame Wilson for wanting to get traded and get out of Seattle simply because, as we said last week, he's getting older. And it sucks when you have to run for your life. That's your job.
Right after the Seahawks lost the Super Bowl, don't forget they made a trade that brought Jimmy Graham over to the Seattle Seahawks. They had to give up their center, the anchor of their offensive line. And look, everything starts through the center position. Once you get rid of your cornerstone center, everything started to fall apart around them, and they never won a Super Bowl since. So you must have an offensive line. Look at Tom Brady.
Yep.
Guy's been winning Super Bowls because he can stay upright. He can play till he's 62 years old as long as he stays upright.
I'll tell you one guy it couldn't be more happier that Seattle got rid of Russell Wilson, and that's Bob Gibson, because they always finished in front of the Rams. The Rams were like pretty much inconsequential. Except for one season in the last decade, because Seattle just dominated. Bob,
hey,
what's your assessment?
Bob, did I miss something official that Russell Wilson is a Jet now, or am I missing something?
Yeah, Bob.
No, I haven't seen that yet, but that could be a good rumor going around that trade is about to go down. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I'm keeping an eye on the Twitter feed as the show goes on. But if Russell Wilson was the Seattle Seahawks, I mean, not only would it be a huge boost to the New York Jets if that's where he ends up, but where does Darnold end up and how does that fit? We talked last week about this quarterback carousel.
Things are starting to shake out already, though.
Isn't that Jet deal official?
Hey, things are starting to shake out, Bob. You and I were speaking about it last week. Carson Wentz. to the Colts, reunites with Frank
Wentz
Reich.
went to the
That's
Colts,
one
right?
domino that
We're starting to
falls.
see these things go down, right? Now, really, the only team that needs a quarterback that doesn't have anybody is New England.
New England.
Really,
Yep.
the only team that has nobody right now at their quarterback position. So,
Don't they got Cam Newton, the great?
Oh man,
I thought Newton was going to be the second coming of like Johnny Unitas and
that marriage didn't last long.
Terry Bradshaw and all the great ones, you know.
Not so much. They'd love to get Garoppolo back. They'd love to get Jimmy G back, but your 49ers officially still have Jimmy G right now. So we'll have to see if that ends up being a thing.
I can't. It's not, Bob. That's not even a big deal. Jimmy G is nothing. He's never done anything. Oh, with the one Super Bowl, but it wasn't because of him. Oh, please.
He's a Super
Yeah,
Bowl champion.
He led him.
He's a
He
Super
led
Bowl
a Super Bowl.
champion
Yeah,
as a
He's
backup.
a bench warmer. He's like Cliff Stout.
Look, here's the thing that people need to realize. The 49ers,
Down.
the 49ers almost
4
won the
rings,
Super Bowl.
Not one snap. Sorry. about
49ers almost won the Super Bowl a couple seasons ago, and that was 1 year removed from Jimmy Garoppolo having a torn ACL. So he's a very serviceable quarterback, and the 49ers are doing the right thing. They're looking to upgrade if they can, and if they cannot, then they're going to stand pat with Jimmy Garoppolo. He already knows the system. The biggest domino is Deshaun Watson, and the latest rumor is that the Denver Broncos are the team that looks like they're the front runner today at this moment to land Deshaun Watson.
Why would they want Deshaun Watson? That doesn't fit into
No,
the scheme
why
of
would
things.
he want Denver should be the question.
I don't know. The whole thing's just weird right now. It seems like, to me, it's all a cash grab. That's my opinion. I think when one gets going, they all get going because nobody's making. I mean, they're making great money. Don't get me wrong, but when they saw the $50 million contract that Mahomes got, and that's for one, that's 50. Isn't it 50 a year starting next year, John? Something like that. It's a lot of money, and these guys are all playing for $27 million, $30 million. It's almost like a slap in their face, and I think that's. And I'm not saying Russell Wilson did it because I think he's playing for the second part of his career and really make the good money because again he has no offensive line in Seattle. They win because of Russell Wilson, despite that terrible offensive line. But I do think at this point in time, everybody's acting like a bunch of spoiled brats. But they're all looking for economic security there, John.
But look, when you talk about Deshaun Watson, he's got plenty of economic security. The whole problem there was he had no decision making when they hired the coach, the GM, all that sort of stuff. These players want more than just to be a player. They want to have control. They want to be able to decide who's going to come in and coach them. Then they want to get all their buddies on the team. It's almost starting to become like the NBA, Rich.
South Point, bro, or
it is.
South Beach.
Where these players all get together, they want to play together. But in Deshaun Watson's defense, they fired his coach. They got rid of his best receiver, one of the best receivers in the NFL currently. So what are you going to do? The guy gets sacked 30, 40 times a season. Deshaun Watson is going to waste his talent sitting there with the Houston Texans.
Look, everything happens so quick in the league now. It wasn't that long ago that the Jets drafted Sam Darnold. That was their guy of the future. The Niners and the Rams backed up the Brinks truck for both of their quarterbacks. Now the Rams have already dumped their quarterback, and the Niners look like they want to dump theirs. So, I mean, everything changes really quick. But a lot of this, I think, is changing because Deshaun Watson wants out of Houston. Everybody's trying to position themselves to get their hands on Deshaun Watson because he's kind of the prototypical guy now. Everybody wants a quarterback. Not Lamar Jackson. It's Deshaun Watson because he can throw the ball as well as run with the ball. This is the guy everybody wants to get their hands on if they can, but it's going to cost a lot if you're going to get him.
Look at his numbers because a lot of people think he's a runner. He's a passer. He threw for 4,400 yards last year. So that's a guy that puts any franchise, he automatically makes them a contender. And, in his contract, he can pretty much choose where he wants to go. So it's going to be a cat and mouse game. This one might not go down right away, guys. This one we might wait all the way until September before we see something happen here.
Well, I think Houston's happy to just sit and wait, right? If they're going to say, come on, bring your best offer here, and if it's not the offer they like, they don't mind going into the next season. Now it's going to be up to Watson to see if he plays or if he sits out. That's going to be up to him. But I don't think Houston is in any mood to just take a discount off maybe the second or third, maybe at least the second best quarterback in this league if you think Mahomes is number one.
Larry just said he thinks something's going to go down by the draft for Deshaun Watson. And look, it very well could, but you're going to have to give up a ton to get Deshaun Watson. We're talking 2 or 3 first-round draft picks over the next couple of seasons. That's a ton of draft capital to give up. And let's also not forget, too, that the salary cap has reduced. So it's going to be a very interesting offseason this year, and there's going to be a ton of movement. The only one we know that landed himself securely is Carson Wentz in Indianapolis. There you go. Got that out.
That is true. That is true.
Now, what's this?
I think that's an immediate upgrade, right? I think that's an immediate upgrade.
100%.
Now, what's this? Belichick wants Brady back? Really? I read that somewhere.
He's not coming back.
It's on a bathroom wall in New Orleans. Anyways, hey,
He's going to stay in the sunshine and shine his rings.
now, do you really believe that Russell Wilson is going to make a difference with the Jets? I mean, how much of a difference is it going to make?
Well, if he ends up there, and there's nothing official yet.
That's a big
there.
if,
It's
by the way.
done.
That's
It's
a
done.
big
It's
if.
done.
Rich Estrella's got Russell Wilson on the Jets.
If he were to end up there, that's a huge domino in the Robert Saleh regime, right? I mean that's a huge feather in his cap. If he can start his Jets tenure getting one of the best quarterbacks in the league, right? I mean a guy who automatically is going to make everybody there better. But what talent do they have? Well, not a whole lot of talent right now on the offensive side of the ball with the Jets.
Right
so
back where he started.
Pretty quick, but you'd have to think a lot of guys are going to want to come there if Russell Wilson's there.
And he'll get a fatter paycheck, too.
Well,
And I think that's the whole reason for this. I really do.
a lot more opportunities for media and stuff like that, commercials and all that kind of stuff in New York than there are in
I
Seattle.
don't know. New York ain't what it used to be a year ago, if you know what I mean, Bob.
In Seattle.
New Jersey either.
No,
Well, you got a
Bob's
point.
right.
He's got a point.
It's not Seattle. We all know Russell Wilson loves the limelight, and if he can't play in L.A., he may as well go play in New York. If he goes to the Jets, and of course that's a big if, he obviously
He's a
makes them
Jet.
better.
You didn't see him walking around with a Jet jersey the other day, just
Look,
goofing around?
He makes any team better, but again, you got to have an offensive line to protect him. And I feel like if he goes to the Jets, he's almost taken a step backwards. Maybe not financially,
That's not the
but,
way Bob sees it.
roster-wise.
The latest thing online has Sam Darnold wearing a Washington uniform. So don't know how quite that's going to happen. But I don't see the Jets trading their quarterback. unless they're-
Mediocrity, going to play for
But maybe that's
mediocrity.
it. Darnold to the Washington, whatever the heck they're going to be.
It's the
called
Redskins.
now.
They're going to the Redskins.
Hey,
Just come on.
how-
Stop with the charade.
How smart do the Cleveland Browns look for passing on Sam Darnold and going after Baker Mayfield?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think-
everybody was thinking Sam Darnold was on his way to Cleveland. They surprised everybody and took Baker Mayfield. And I mean, what a great pickup that was for them because, Rich, you and I were talking last week. He's becoming one of those, potentially elite quarterbacks in the AFC. There's no doubt about it.
I told Mike Willie last week that I believe that, he's the man right now, Baker Mayfield. Look what he's done for Cleveland. Cleveland has been the worst place for an NFL quarterback for any first-round draft choice for the last 2 decades. This guy's come in, 3 short years, John, he's got him on the doorstep.
He fits the town. He really
He
does.
certainly does.
Blue-collar guy, and you got to love his commercials. His commercials alone should get him a
Yeah.
job in the NFL with any team he wants to play for. Those commercials, especially when he's carrying the groceries. Or,
That's a great ad campaign, man. I don't
It's
know what
fantastic.
group got that, but they did a pretty good job. Those Madison Avenue Wise guys, man, I'm telling you. They did come up with a good product on that.
The latest rumor today was J.J. Watt wants to go to Cleveland.
JJ Watt. Well, let him. I don't blame the guy.
Yeah, look, that also says something about the Houston Texans, talking about them. They're a disgruntled franchise when the face of their franchise says, I got to go. All these guys want to win, especially J.J. Watt on the tail end of his career. I'm surprised he doesn't go to Pittsburgh and join his brothers.
Well, do it. Not going to do any good. It's done for Pittsburgh, too, by the way.
Well, J.J. Watt's he's definitely on the backside of his career, so hey, maybe he can plug in somewhere like a Tampa Bay and
Now-
pick up a ring on the way out.
Now,
And Ben Roethlisberger's on the backside of his career too. So.
that's what I was going to talk about. I don't know if Roethlisberger should even come back next year. I don't know. I think Pittsburgh's done, too. This is not the same team that they won bowls with Roethlisberger. The Hamburglar. But anyways, I just don't think it's the same team. Le'Veon Bell's not there. I mean, they're missing so many pieces. Antonio Brown. I mean, it's not the same team. It just isn't. And maybe it's time for him to step down. He just doesn't seem like he has a lot of heart anymore. It seems like he's lost passion for the position.
I think he's definitely lost passion for the position. Every year he's always contemplating retirement. You don't know what he's going to do. To me, He might play one more year and then maybe wrap it up. But look, here's the thing with Pittsburgh. I think they started 9-0 or 10-0. Everybody thought they were going to go pick up their 7th ring. They did not play anybody for that first portion of the season. I mean, they didn't play anybody. So, don't ever judge a book by its cover, because I think Washington ended up making them 10-1 or something like that, and nobody expected that to happen. So, Pittsburgh's they're an average team.
Yeah, I think that franchise is going to be cooled for a while in the AFC. And like I told you about Kansas City, guys, I don't think you guys are all thinking they're going to be back. Oh, they're the greatest. No, they're not, man. The media anointed those guys like they were the greatest thing. Do you realize every other year we got the great? Kaepernick was supposed to carry the league for 10 years. Yeah, he's carrying it all right in a negative way, kneeling down every week. But what I'm saying is, they anoint these guys at a young age when they have success way too early. And I just think that's a lot of pressure for Kansas City. And I don't want to hear about, well, it was the defense of Tampa Bay. We're talking Kansas City, guys. They light everybody up. They don't care who you are. And they were just stymied by it. And let's not forget how Brady just masterfully managed the clock in that fourth quarter. Decided to run the ball. Did when he had to. Did get a first down. But, that combination was deadly. And I just don't think Kansas City's all that anymore.
I don't see how you could really discredit the Chiefs and discredit Patrick Mahomes. He is probably the best quarterback in the NFL. He is so the things he does, we've all seen it. He's a very special
got way
player.
more weapons than Tom Brady did in Tampa this year. They're putting that team together on the fly, and he couldn't beat him in the Super Bowl.
So you could start your franchise right now. Do you want Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes?
It's not about starting a franchise. Just give me one game to win.
Well, one game's a different story, but you still got to go through the process and go through the season. There's nobody else I'd want at the helm of my team than Patrick Mahomes. Bob, settle this fight.
Mahomes has lost to Brady every time in the playoffs. When it matters, he loses. What do you want me to say?
No, he just won a year ago. I mean, Patrick.
When he faces Tom Brady in the playoffs, Bob.
Okay,
I think they're 2-2 now.
Lost Tom Brady in the playoffs.
You got to make sure. Well, either way, Bob, he's not as invincible. He's the young guy. He's playing an old man. 43 years old, really? He can't beat that dude?
He's not playing defense, Rich. Patrick Mahomes can only do what Patrick Mahomes can do. And look,
you think Tom Brady won that Super Bowl?
Now we got excuses going. Ask any player on that team who's responsible for that Super Bowl, Bob. They'll tell you it was Brady. Every one of those guys said this guy was texting him. He gave him the motivation. He taught them how to win. Tell them to stop crying because they made it to the title game. So you made it to the Super Bowl? You damn right you stop crying. That's not a time to be crying, Bob, for joy.
There's no
you got to win it. It's worse to lose it. It's worse to lose the ball than to get there. It's worse to lose it. You get there and you lose, it wasn't even worth getting there.
Yeah, everybody, but all your shirts go to like a third world country. That's kind of cool.
Well, that's a positive.
I want the Niner championship jerseys from a couple seasons ago.
That's a positive.
Listen, you just cannot go wrong with Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. However, when you're talking about the AFC, there's some darn good young quarterbacks in that league. So Mahomes isn't always going to pave the way to the Super Bowl, but when you have Mahomes, you have a chance to go to the Super Bowl every year.
I think Mayfield sitting in the same offense with the same players that Mahomes had would have probably have done the same exact thing as Mahomes did. Probably would have won a Super Bowl, got to 2 of them or whatever, but I still think he would have been as successful as Mahomes has been. I don't think he's that much better than every quarterback in the league. I just don't. And I think that the media isn't doing him any good. All they're doing is pressuring the kid. Did you hear Tom Flores on the show a couple weeks ago, John? I asked him, who has the advantage? Tom Brady has the advantage. Who would have thought that? A 43-year-old guy against the next coming of Joe Namath? Really?
Because he's been to 10 Super Bowls. Of course he has the advantage. He's been there. He's done that.
If Mahomes was so great, he should have won regardless of his line. Should have won anyway. Should have figured out a way to win.
No, because we're talking about a team. We're not talking. It wasn't Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes playing pickleball with each other. This was a professional football game. Look, quarterback for quarterback, Tom Brady has it all. He's got a ring for every finger. We know that. But Patrick Mahomes, he's a darn good quarterback, and Brady's not going to be there forever, and Mahomes is going to go pick up his rings.
The point is, they were already saying Mahomes is going to surpass Brady. He's the greatest quarterback ever, the greatest of all time. Get out of here. He can't even pass your boy Joe Montana now. John, because he lost in the Super Bowl.
When Brady has won Super Bowls, it's mostly been because of the New England defense, and it was the same this year with the Tampa Bay. When Brady threw for 500 yards against the Eagles, what happened? They
lost.
So it's very rarely about Tom Brady in the game. It's usually always about Bill Belichick's defense and what they've done to win Super Bowls. Look at that very first one when they beat that great Rams team, back in 2002
Bob,
or whatever.
Bob, you need to stop right there. You're full of crap, and I'll tell you why. Everybody knows Belichick was filming everybody's offense. They were filming. Hold on. They were filming the signals. They were filming the offense. They knew what was coming. When you know what's coming, I don't give a damn what defense is out there. You can stop it. And that's exactly what stopped. That defense was not that good. It was the fact that they had everybody's launch codes, Bob. Everybody's.
You're right. No, you're
That's cheating. Right. That's not good defense. That is cheating. Out and out cheating. To sit here and say they won because of that defense is crap. It was all because of the filming. They got caught doing it. It's unequivocally they did it. They even had to admit it. They paid fines. They left draft choices. And they kept doing it. They got caught again last year.
That happened. But you still have to go out and play the game. And more
what do you mean? It's not a fair game, Bob. It's a fix.
Games to win Super Bowl.
It's a fix, Bob. It's not even a fair game. You have to play the game. You're not really playing the game. You're playing a fixed game.
Then why are these people still? Why is Bill Belichick still coaching in the league?
Because Robert Kraft. Because Robert Kraft is the owner, right? And who's his buddy? Goodell. Who put Goodell as commissioner? Robert Kraft, most influential owner after Rosenblum died, and so forth and so on. So what now? Kroenke's probably the most influential guy now.
Robert Kraft is the most influential owner?
I think, yeah, he's the only one you hear about. Jerry Jones
has
no juice. His team is average. His team has been average except for
I'm not talking about his team. That guy's got more juice than any of the people you've mentioned.
Nope, he doesn't. And Kraft read the book, Kraft put Goodell in as the commissioner. That's his boy. That's why nothing happened. A $250 fine for cheating. You out here what the owners are saying behind this dude's back and the GMs and the rest of the league. They know the fix was in. It's bad for the brand to will this stuff out and keep running it through the league. I think a lot of money exchanged hands, if you know what I mean. So don't give me that, Bob. I wouldn't mind if it was up and up. Somebody still had to score those points in the Super Bowl, and the defense didn't score a lot of points, Bob.
It was Jones and Kraft who got the Rams to L.A. We know that.
And the Raiders to Vegas. Let's not forget that. Jones had his hand in Allegiant Stadium, too. Jerry Jones has his hand in everything. In my opinion, he's the most influential owner. Forget Robert Kraft. It's Jerry Jones. He does more behind the scenes than anybody knows about.
I don't think so. I think it's his perception that he does all that. He doesn't do nothing. That's why his team's sorry. That's why when they had the first Super Bowl there, what happened? The facade of the front of the building fell on people. Remember that snow? Got too much snow on it. Everybody got knocked down.
Was that in Minnesota?
No, that was in Dallas. That was in Dallas.
Jerry firing Jimmy Johnson. The Cowboys have never recovered from
that. Because Jerry Jones thinks he's smarter than Jimmy Johnson.
I know he does.
And Switzer came in with Johnson's stuff and won another Super Bowl, but he didn't have to do nothing. Johnson did it all for him already. All he had to do was roll the ball out, baby.
That's like your buddy came in and took over for Tony Dungy, Rich. Your buddy John Gruden walked into that Tampa Bay role, beat his Raiders. You want to talk about having the playbook, knowing exactly what they were going to do? The Pirate Bowl is the perfect example of that. I mean, literally, John Gruden wrote the playbook, and then he went and defended it, man. They were inside every single play in that game. That was worse than the Rams-Patriots, Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah. No, that was, you're right. That was before that. Absolutely right.
And that was the last time the Bucs were there as well. So, hey, look, I don't think anybody thought the Buccaneers were going to win the Super Bowl when the year kicked off.
I did.
Everybody looked at that division. You know, Tom Brady has to go against Drew Brees twice a year. But, hey, look, Tom Brady got the best of everybody this year. Tampa Bay deserved to win the Super Bowl. They got hot at the right time. And, Bob, their defense, about 9-10 games through the season, that defense really started to gel, and they were a legit defense. And I agree with you. It was the defense that won that Super Bowl. How do you hold Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs to 9 points? How do you hold?
Well,
how do you keep them out of the end zone?
You pressure a young quarterback like that, and he panics, and that's exactly what Mahomes did.
He's never seen anything like that.
He was just throwing the ball up for grabs. The dude was out of sorts. He was weak. Go ahead, Bob.
It's funny. Remember that Monday night game where the Rams dismantled the Bucks, and Jared Goff made the Bucks look good. I thought, man, that defense just isn't any good in Tampa this year. What are they going to do? But whatever happened, I don't know what. But Bruce Arians pulled it together, and that defense just caught fire at the end of the year. So how they could not shut down Jared Goff, but they could shut down Patrick Mahomes, that's a mystery.
That's true. He's got a point.
He does have a point. Well, Bob's got a point. Good point, Bob.
But you know what? Stop dragging the Rams in. Stop dragging the Rams into your analogies, Bob. You're just being a homer. You really are.
Maybe Goff's not as bad as we thought he was. Maybe that's it.
I don't know. Hey, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's get off this NFL trip right now. Let's talk a little bit about the NBA. This week, of course, your boy AD is out for the Lakers, and they're saying maybe 4 weeks, 5 weeks. I think it's going to be probably the rest of the season, John.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be the rest of the season, but those injuries can be super nagging. So, look, 4 to 6 weeks is the timeline. They're going to look at it. There's no reason to rush him back because when they need him is for the playoffs.
I don't know. I don't think he's coming back.
You don't think he's coming back at all?
No, he'll be back, but he's not going to be AD. There's going to be excuses the rest of the way. I don't think this will be the last time that he's going to have this injury again. He's had it before. I don't know. With the Lakers right now, anything can happen, but you saw what happened. Kyrie and KD and, of course, James Harden, they're all talking trash. They want to take LeBron out, man.
Well,
they do. They
How
just wanna
embarrassing
take
for
him
them.
out.
It takes all of them
And they
to
still
take him out.
And they still may not do it.
No, and Rich, you were talking, before the show started about how the Clippers kind of had this whole persona last year.
Yep,
Like,
they
hey,
had the attitude.
We're good. We've got Paul George. We've got everybody.
We've got Kawhi.
We're going to get rid of LeBron James. Well, they didn't do it.
No.
So, the New Jersey Nets, they have too many people on that team with one basketball.
Well, everything's fine right now because, they get to beat up on a lot of teams with absolutely, stars on the team. Everybody's clumping together.
Because they're all in the Nets.
On a few teams, yeah. But, they can be had. They probably will be had at some point, but they better get their attitudes right because the attitudes they're carrying with them right now, it reminds me a lot of the Clippers. The Clippers thought all they had to do was show up to win it.
Well, James Harden could easily divide that locker room. No question about that.
Well, I think he already, in a way, has a little bit. I think right now they're just coming together because they were going to play the Lakers and they really wanted to hammer them. But we'll see what happens after the All-Star break. When it gets closer to the playoffs, these guys are all going to want the ball, and there's only one ball. We know Harden likes to have it 80% of the time.
Well, before those guys worry about the Lakers, they need to get out of the East.
What's that, Bob?
A week ago tomorrow, New Jersey basically dismantled the Golden State Warriors. And Golden State's kind of back to being Golden State a little bit this year. They're a much better team, obviously, with Steph Curry, but that New Jersey team really did a number on Golden State a week ago. So, I like the way they look if they can keep it all together, right? If it doesn't implode on them.
You would.
Well, who else do you like in the East, Bob?
There is nobody.
I don't think Milwaukee looks very good at all, right?
What happened to those guys?
Milwaukee.
Weren't they supposed to win the Super Bowl this year in the NBA?
Oh, man.
But I think clearly New Jersey's the team. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be the representative in the East. And obviously, you got to think the Lakers in the West, unless you think the Clippers can take advantage of this little opening here by the Lakers. If you think AD is not going to come back 100% at the end of the season, that's a big problem for the Lakers because they need him. And I think in some ways he's more important than LeBron James. Obviously, LeBron's LeBron, but in some ways AD makes everything that works there work. And it's going to be a big deal if he's not 100% there. Maybe the Clippers can sneak in just a little bit.
If I'm the Laker brain trust right now, I'm sitting him. I'm just going to sit him for about 10 weeks. Wait till game like 59 or 60, and then play the final 11 games and get in shape for the playoffs. Because all the Lakers have to do is just play 500 ball, maybe even 40% wins to get into the playoffs this year.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it certainly looked like a non-contact injury, and we know those are the worst ones. He keeps pulling up lame, and at some point, sit him. Let him rest, and just like you say, Rich, just get in the dance because home court advantage doesn't matter at all at this point. So get in the playoffs. You have LeBron James, sit Anthony Davis as long as you need to, and then come back healthy because, look, you're much better off with a 90% Anthony Davis than a 50% Anthony Davis coming back too soon.
Now watch this. I'm gonna assure that Brooklyn does not win the NBA title this year. Hey, Bob, who's going to win the NBA title this year?
New Jersey.
There you go.
Brooklyn.
There you go.
All right. So whoever's put your money on the other team, man, in the conference championship game.
There you go.
Bob's
There
just
you go.
killed them. Bob just put a dagger through Brooklyn.
Bob just jinxed the Nets.
What's going to happen with Brooklyn is there's going to be some dissension between the three superstars. I don't know if KD could keep Kyrie and Harden together because those are the two head cases. It's not KD. KD seems to have his head on about as good as you can right now. But if something happens along the way, man, it's going to get weird, especially if one of the big three go down. Because all Harden knows how to do, I mean, I know he's passing the ball right now, but when
it's the honeymoon phase.
When it gets when the times get tough, he might revert back to his old ways and just want to ball hog. That's his game. That's all Harden knows, and he's good at it. I give it to him. He's good at it, but not good enough to win a title.
Just hold it together.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's a big if. It's a big if. Too many egos. It's one basketball and way too many egos there. It's not built to work. It'll be a miracle if it does.
Who comes out of the West?
Well, I still have to assume the Lakers if everything works.
If your
out,
Clippers don't slip in, Bob.
Yeah. What about if Davis doesn't make it the rest of the way, Bob?
Then I think the Clippers have a legitimate shot, right? The Clippers should have a legitimate shot to beat the Lakers in the playoffs if Davis is compromised or even can't even come back at all.
What do you think, John?
They're going to need Anthony Davis to bring it home. He is as important as LeBron James.
I think so.
There's no doubt about it.
Those two guys equal 4, trust me. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. I have to monitor it. All-Star break's coming up. Nobody wants to play in this All-Star game. I don't know why. I know why the league's forcing it on, but I don't know why the players would agree to play in it. The players' union in the NBA is about as strong as any union in the country, and I don't understand. If they don't want to play, they've been in a bubble all this time. You keep them in a bubble. Why would you send everybody? Why would you put them all to lead together? And there's going to be parties and there's going to be events. That's why they do it.
Right.
The NBA All-Star Game isn't for the fans anymore. It's for the corporate people,
Yep.
and the people at the top of the food chain over there. So
And the people that bet the over.
they don't want to. The players don't want to play. Why force them to play? Why put them at risk like that? You spend all this time during the season keeping everybody clean, keeping everybody safe. And then you're going to bring them all together for All-Star Weekend. Nice. You don't need to do it.
This is how you reward those corporations that have checks all season long.
Bob, if they want to do a slam dunk competition for the fans, have everybody that wants to do it. I mean, pick 5 guys from every team, have your little playoff, televise that, and then have the main one, and do it all online. Do it all on TV. You can cut to every arena and have everybody do their thing. It's no different. It's no different than watching it on TV during All-Star break. Just instead of having them all there at one time, having in different places. You can still pull off all your little shenanigans, all the little fun stuff you want, all the little money makers on the side, because they televise all this stuff. You got commercials all over the place. So, that's what I would do. But as far as having a game, I don't know. I would try to have skills competition, maybe a few drinking contests. I don't know. Do something like they always do on the weekends during All-Star week. But as far as playing the game, maybe the players have a point.
No, I think it's a bad idea as well. We're in the middle of a pandemic. These guys are already traveling to play as it is. Bringing them all together in one spot, it just doesn't make much sense. And you know what else doesn't make sense? I don't get this. These guys are breathing on each other, sweating on each other, bleeding on each other.
That's
then
true.
they run to the bench and put on a mask.
Yeah.
That is that the NBA's guideline that you must have a mask? I mean, these guys are literally, wrestling on the floor for a ball. Then they run to the sideline and put on a mask. So many things just aren't making sense. And I think bringing these guys together is just inviting problems. Let's put everything on hold. Let's get through this coronavirus and let's just get back to normal next year. Let's do the right thing. But of course, the right thing is making money. And that's what happens.
Like I said, you got to reward those corporate people who write the big checks all season long. This is how the NBA does it.
Yep, that's the way it is.
Now, I will say that the NFL and Tampa Bay specifically, they did a really good job with the fake fans. I don't know if you guys, the Super Bowl looked like it was packed. I'm like, what's going on? So they did a really nice job filling in with the fake fans. At least it looked good. But look, this whole football season, any of these sports without fans, it's just not the same, in my opinion, not at all. And I don't even think they should play the All-Star game because I just don't think it makes any sense.
Well, I think the NFL was cool with what they did was they sprinkled in a bunch of blow-up dolls and fake, fake cardboard cutouts. But yet they put actual fans like in every other row, so they were bouncing around. So it did look like the stadium was alive, and maybe everybody should adopt that. Everybody.
Well,
I'm stuck on this shot.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm still up there.
John's sitting there looking stupid.
Yeah, I wasn't talking, Larry, but that's okay.
Larry, what are you doing, man? Checking your bank account and stuff right now?
He's betting the over.
He's betting the over. He heard he's taking your advice, Bob, which is terrible. He should not. He should go always opposite.
I changed my Nets bet.
He changed his Nets bet. Oh man. Hey, Dodgers signed Justin Turner this week, guys. $37 million was it? Something like that. Poor guy. How's he gonna eat? I feel a spree wall coming on. I mean,
I don't like. I don't know. Does that signing really matter for the Dodgers? I mean, why spend all that money on Justin Turner? I mean, he's probably over the hill by this point. It's the old saying: it's better to get rid of a guy a year too early than a year too late. But I guess if you're the Dodgers and you're already $7 trillion over the salary cap, who the heck cares?
He's going to get $18.5 million a season, and I can't believe he was holding out for more money, dude. You're 36, 37 years old. Take the money.
And he went out and, spread his coronavirus all over the trophy. So, I mean, come on. They should have got rid of him right there, right? That poor guy. He just wanted to celebrate with. I feel so bad for him. Remember that? He just wanted to celebrate with his team, and he was getting a bunch of stuff there. But, yeah.
He did apologize.
Coming out of that thing.
He should have been out there celebrating with them.
But he did apologize and said it was probably a little bit, stupid thing to do. But, he did apologize, and nobody got hurt by it.
We're still on my
I
shot.
know, John. I don't know.
What's going on here?
I don't know. You got to start wearing a Groucho Marx thing or wearing something funny. But anyways, yeah, exactly. But, Turner already apologized. He already did his penance. He already did his time for that crime. And, again, nobody came down with anything. And he was sitting next to Dave Roberts, who was as compromised on that team as anybody.
The Dodgers are clearly still the most talented team in the National League. I don't know if that makes them the best team, probably on paper, but they're certainly the most talented team. And
Bob,
they had Trevor Bauer to the mix. And they didn't even need him. And they gave him
how many games? How many games are the Dodgers? How many games do you think they're going to win this year? They've already got it out. You can bet on it. I'm just telling you.
104. 104.
Nope. What do you think, John?
109.
104 and a half. The biggest. That's what they said. I'm just telling you. So you can bet on in Vegas. 104 and a half wins this year. It's the largest margin going into a season of anybody since the Yankees.
I was right on that one night.
What's that?
I was right on that.
Everyone knows you're an odds maker by now.
No, Bob, you're reading that on the computer, man. Come on. We know you bet a lot. What are you talking about?
I was right on that number.
But anyways,
I would. Yeah, they're easily an over 100 win team. Now the Padres could be a 100 win team too. Who knows? Padres. Yeah, I think the Padres are almost just as loaded as the Dodgers.
Even when they got rid of their best pitcher in the league.
Look, it's exciting to see the San Diego Padres good. It's also exciting to see them wearing their old uniforms again because those were some of the best uniforms in all of baseball. So it's good to see the Swinging Friars back. That is one of the most beautiful ballparks I've ever been to in my life. So, you know what? Small market team, but I want to see good things happen in San Diego. No doubt about it. Great ballpark, great place to watch a game.
They just remind me of the Clippers, LA's little brothers. Pretty much it. They're going nowhere, guys. Padres aren't going anywhere, man. They're going to be an also-ran in the NL West. I know everybody's saying they're going to do good, but they won't. They won't.
I think they got a heck of a chance at a wild card. I really do.
Well, maybe a wild card, but they're not going to do any damage.
Well, they're not going to get past the Dodgers. We already saw what happened. But look, anything can happen. You got injuries, free agency, so many trades, so many different things that can happen. And season hasn't even started yet. But so, Bob, who do you like in the American League, if you don't mind me asking here?
Well, talk about a team not going anywhere real quick, and that's Rich's Anaheim Angels not going anywhere, not signing anybody, and probably destined to be an 80-win team this year.
That's a shame.
Orange County Bob, he's calling the Angels my team.
Yeah, but that organization, here they are in Southern California, and they just cannot put a winning product on the field.
No.
When's the last time they had 2 or 3 good pitchers in their rotation? They haven't.
When they had Frank Tanana and Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, that was
Clyde Wright.
Yeah.
That was when they were good.
1977.
No, it was like 1968, 69. Actually, I don't think Ryan was with. I don't think Ryan was with the Angels in '77.
I mean, at this point,
I think there's a lot of evidence to show the Angels are waiting till next year when Albert Pujols comes off the books. There's a bunch of other players that come off the book. There's a lot of players where the money comes off the books in 22 for the Angels, right? So I think that's a chance for them to go out in the free agent market and probably spend a ton of money. But
Artie's going to have a lot more money. Artie's going to feel better about spending money. He just closed the deal on the stadium there. Now he gets parking revenue, all that sort of stuff. That's going to make a big difference in the way he spends.
In the interest of fairness, he got some really crappy advice, and we all know what he did. Signed Hamilton and your boy Pujols to like $500 million. $500 million with a B. And that's what's hamstrung the team all this time.
Yep.
You give these guys all this money, neither one was worth it.
And
neither one. Should have given it all to Trout.
And let's face it, we know firsthand from being in the building, they wanted that Josh Hamilton thing to work. I mean, let's not forget the guy was walking around the field with the priest. Remember, he was walking around blessing the stadium with the guy, and everybody thought he was reformed and he was going to do great. I mean, they did so much to accommodate for Josh Hamilton. That's why Artie Moreno is gun shy. Let's not forget, they removed they moved all the reporters down the line so that they could build luxury boxes to compensate for Josh Hamilton's salary. So Artie Moreno got burned. That's why he's gun shy to this day. We know this for a fact. So you're right, Bob. They're a year away from opening up that checkbook.
Artie came in as a guy with a lot of money, didn't know crap about baseball, obviously. You would have known a guy that's been in the league 10, 11 years does not deserve the biggest contract in Major League history. $250 million, my friends, for Pujols.
You paid Albert Pujols for the years he had in St. Louis. That's what you did. You paid him for those years, and what you got in your return for what he did in Anaheim was very little.
You got crap.
You're basically paying him to be an ambassador for the team down the road.
Right.
That's exactly what you're doing, because he's going to walk into a front office job. He's got plenty of compensation. I mean, don't you think at some point he should just say, hey, enough is enough. Move me to the front office. Let's build this team. But no, he wants to keep, he wants to keep playing. We know how those egos get with those guys. He wants to keep going as long as he can.
Now this is how screwed up society is, and this is how far sports has gone off the cliff here, okay? So Hamilton gets this big contract, $175 million, all right, plus stuff. So this guy is an admitted alcoholic and a drug addict, comes to the Angels, takes the money, does nothing. Matter of fact, he acts up so bad they get rid of him for a song and a dance. Then he turns around and tries to, I think he did sue the Angels. He sued the Angels for his addiction. Somehow they exacerbated it or helped him abet it. And I mean, you talk about the biting the hand that feeds. That's just ridiculous. What are you laughing?
I think the biggest mistake the Angels made in that contract was not putting any language in the contract that if there was a relapse or anything happened, that they could recoup some of the money or get out of the contract. I mean, they just signed Josh Hamilton straight up as if he didn't have this pass and all these issues, hanging over it.
They turned it on him.
Do you guys remember the day we walked into the stadium and it was the day they got rid of him, and all the boxes were by the dumpster with all the Josh Hamilton bobbleheads.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
that's what you were laughing about right now.
I was laughing about the bobbleheads because they spent so much money on those I mean, those are all out of circulation, minus the ones we have.
No, I thought I'd call Josh Hamilton Josh Booty or something because we called Russell Wilson Russell Westbrook.
I'm just laughing because that was another example of Artie Moreno's investment going into the dumpster, because these 45,000 bobbleheads were on pallets going to the dumpster, and we were told they were off limits. But yeah, we intercepted some.
Yeah, we got a few
of
them.
Air, and we still have them.
So some of them went off the cliff at the stadium.
That's why Artie was so mad. He spent all that money on those bobbleheads. That's why he was really upset.
Back to your original question, though. Back to John's original question. Who do I like in the American League? I think the Chicago White Sox have as good a chance as anybody in the American League. I think the White Sox are built now. I think they've got the lineup down. Certainly, they've got the pitching. Local guy Lucas Giolito leading the way there. I think the White Sox. Maybe they're a little bit of an underdog, but I think they've got as good a chance as anybody in kind of a wide open American League. I don't think there's any real great team in the American League.
What, did they get Bo Jackson back or something?
They did.
The White Sox?
Frank Thomas is back too. You didn't hear?
No, I didn't.
He's too busy doing like Regenix commercials or something at this point. Hey, Bob, what are they going to call my Indians now? I'm a little bit nervous about this.
They're going to call them the Redskins.
They're with my Indians.
The best one I heard was the Cleveland Spiders. I think if you have to change the name of the team, they were originally the Cleveland Spiders, I guess way back in the 20s or something. I don't know. And of all the names I've heard, that I think would be the one that might stick with the fans the best. I don't think anybody wants them to change the team name, but if you have to,
Just call themselves the Daddy Longlegs or
so
something.
what do you do about the Kansas City Chiefs? Is that in the same realm, or is that something totally different?
Or the Atlanta Braves, or the Chicago Blackhawks, right? I mean, on and on, right? I mean, where do you?
Isn't a Blackhawk? Isn't that a bird, or is that an
No,
Indian?
it's an Indian.
Oh, please.
Where do you draw the line on what's appropriate and what isn't?
You know what? For sports, just bow into that idea of a name change, calling it racist and all that. You know, to me, it's just unthinkable. I mean, what's the big deal? It's only negative if you think it's negative. You got a handful of people saying, "Oh my God, it's racist, it's negative." That's just them.
No,
I don't think of it
what
like
you've
that.
got-
I think
what
of
you've got-
warriors. I think of great warriors.
What you've got are sponsors going to owners saying, hey, you know what, we're not going to give you a check unless you change the name, because they were all over Dan Schneider for years to change the name. As soon as they said, oh, no money, now they're the Washington football team. So he only changed the name for financial reasons. We don't even know what they're going to be called yet. Do we, Bob?
Wait a minute. And then you wonder why.
No, we haven't heard. But don't forget, Long Beach State. Long Beach State changed their name. Long Beach State is no longer the 49ers. Long Beach State is the Sharks. So how long before they start coming for the San Francisco 49ers?
Why is the 49ers racist?
On.
What?
It's true.
What do you
They
say?
got rid of the 49ers.
Why?
Yeah.
What
because the reasoning was that the 49ers were oppressive to the native people in Northern California when they went to the gold rush. So Long Beach State caved in and changed it to become the Sharks. Look it up. Long Beach State Sharks now, no longer the 49ers.
We still call them the Niners, just like I'm still calling Washington Redskins the Washington Redskins. Cleveland Indians are always going to be the Indians.
And the Washington Bullets for all I care.
I mean, even Brooklyn's still the Dodgers, my friend. You know?
I mean, on and on and on, right? I mean, hey, you know, I'm glad you can't touch the Rams, man. The Rams, nothing wrong there, right?
So you can't have the Bullets,
Depends what state
but
you're
you have
in.
the Redskins, and now you can't even have the Redskins. Unbelievable.
Well, it used to be the Baltimore Bullets, and they were the Washington Bullets, and now, come on,
The Bullets.
I mean, what's next? The Browns?
No wonder
people find a reason to say, hey, the Cleveland Browns is somehow a racist name. I'm being serious here. You
But
never know.
that was Paul Brown's name, and he wasn't a racist situation.
But if you read the wrong thing into it, you could say, hey, I don't like the way that sounds.
And if they come for that,
you know,
if they come for that name, you know who's going to come for them? Chuck Norris and Jim Brown.
Well, you can do that, but I'm telling you.
Nobody's going to go up against Norris. Nobody's going up against Chuck or Jim Brown. Nobody.
Well, that's a Chuck.
You know? Nobody. Hey, by the way, O.J. Simpson gave out a great tweet today, John Conte. I wake up this morning, and what do I have? John Conte's smiling face with a tweet of O.J., and O.J. was talking. You know, O.J. had a good point. John, I think you were right. He actually did say O.J. made sense today, and he did. He was talking about the Stafford trade and how just crappy Detroit is as a place to play football, and how, you know, you got to get out. You have to get out. And he was talking about how, you know, he's great to see that they finally got rid of Stafford because Stafford wanted out, because that team's not going to go anywhere. They never do anything to win. And then he was talking about, I think it was Barry Sanders he was talking about. Barry Sanders retired because the ownership wouldn't go out and get anybody to help him win a bowl, to help him win. He was doing it all by himself, got tired, and said, screw it, I'd rather retire than come back and finish out with this team. So he was happy that Matthew Stafford is getting out. And nobody got hurt during the interview. Usually you see these golf cart things in the background, John. People getting hit.
Oh, yeah, OJ was on the golf course this morning.
OJ actually looked pretty good. He felt good, too. You could just tell. He was flowing good, didn't stutter, didn't stammer. He did it all in one take, Bob. Not one edit in that piece, OJ.
No, I saw it. I saw
5-minute rant.
I thought to myself, OJ's actually making sense here. Anyway.
Which is why I had to share it with you guys, because, you know, O.J. Simpson making sense. And, you know, one of the things he said was, hey, look, I wanted out of Buffalo. You know, the 49ers gave up everything, and we went 2-14. So
Wilson wouldn't let him out.
It goes
Ralph
to
Wilson
show
wouldn't
you.
let him out.
It goes to show you, though, you can't mortgage too much to get one player, or else you're not going to have anything left. And I think that was O.J.'s point.
The juice is loose, baby. That's right. On the golf course every day, doing his reporting on Twitter. I really enjoy O.J.'s tweets. I don't care about all that other stuff. I have nothing to do with it. It's all alleged.
We hope you had nothing to do with
You
it.
know what I mean.
Yeah.
It happened. I mean, all I could do.
It's not like you were driving the Bronco.
Just like the Kennedy assassination. It's a crappy topic, but everybody talks about it.
Speaking of Broncos, man, I'm not feeling the new Bronco. I don't know if we want to get into that, but I'm not feeling the new Bronco.
What is that? Are they doing it? What, a new logo?
Oh, they did a new Ford Bronco.
Oh, the car. Oh.
Yeah, I don't like it.
El Bronco.
Unless OJ and AC are driving that baby.
They
it's
should
just not the
endorse
same,
it, man. I would have them endorse it. I really would.
You would. There you go.
I would.
Birthday.
Why not? What's that?
It came out on OJ's birthday.
Did it came out on OJ's birthday, Larry?
How ironic is that, huh?
All right.
Really?
Hey,
How
we-
ironic is that?
hey, Bob, hold on. We haven't touched upon the high schools getting ready to come back and play sports. How about that?
Yeah.
I was talking to you.
I guess the governor said today we're not that far away. If we get to the purple and the red tiers here, then we can start playing football again. So that's great news.
I
for
heard-
the kids. It's great news for
I heard-
high schools in Southern California. We're right there now.
Some high school kid hacked into the governor's database and moved those colors up so they could play. You got some smart kids out there, man. You know, I got a call from your boy Rosenblum today, talking about that. Then I want to come back up on the other show and what we're going to do. And I told him, Randy, our hearts have been broken every month. Every week
Right.
it was going to be something happening. Waiting for these, the new league was going to form. Everything was going to go down. And nothing happened, man. And I still don't believe they're going to cram all these sports. They're talking about possibly playing football, basketball. Remember, you have two sets. You have the girls and the boys in basketball. They're going to play soccer, badminton, tennis. All these sports are going to play in a mad dash in the last 2 months of the school year.
No officials.
Where are you getting all these officials from? Now, Randy seems to think you can get them from anywhere. You can get Little League officials coming up, which I don't know about that.
You can get a Home Depot now.
But but I'm thinking some coaches might have to step up in different leagues and go officiate some games if there's some gaps, because I don't know where the heck you're going to get all these people.
Are we going to have a 5-game football season?
Yep, that's about what they're going to get.
That's about what it's going to be, I think.
No
Yeah.
playoffs, just play.
Right.
Kill or be killed. Thank you.
Better than nothing. And then for basketball, they're still talking about playing outside. They're still saying, hey, maybe we play outside for basketball instead of inside.
Well, Bob, let me throw this at you. So Randy asked me, how do you feel about basketball? And I said, Randy, I would not feel very comfortable going inside a high school gym with 1,000 people, masked or not, and calling a game for 2 hours. I just probably wouldn't feel too comfortable about that at this time. Randy felt probably much the same way, but said, if we do it outside, then it's okay. But inside, I'd be very apprehensive at this point in time to televise a game.
We got to worry about weather outside too. I mean,
Not in March and April.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't. Go
absolutely.
ahead, Bob.
So it turns out that the sport that might have to get sacrificed is not football. It turns out it might be basketball.
Why? Because there's not enough outdoor facilities? You kidding me?
If nobody's comfortable, I don't know how realistic outdoor basketball is. I just don't see it.
Bob, everybody grew up starting out playing outdoors. Not everybody started out in a gym.
Blacktop basketball.
Backblock? Exactly. Blacktop
We're gonna
basketball.
we're gonna go play on the blacktop over in the park.
Bob, there's
down the
blacktop,
street.
high tops for blacktops, and then there's basketball shoes for indoor hardwood. There's two different. So you got blacktop shoes, play blacktop. Both teams have to play on the blacktop, Bob.
No, we're
Yes.
not playing blacktop basketball for a CIF title or whatever. Come on.
There's no titles, Bob. It's no titles. There's no playoffs,
Let's sit it out.
Bob.
Let's get back.
I think letting them play is more important than where.
Football, baseball, softball, soccer. Let's go. We can talk about the outdoor sports. Maybe the
Wrestling.
indoor stuff is not
I
gonna
heard
happen.
Rob Wygod say today, I heard Robbie say it from his own mouth. I didn't believe it when I first heard it. I didn't think it was Robbie, but it was Robbie. All right?
Okay.
The wrestlers are going to wrestle. All they have to do is wrestle outdoors. They're going to let the wrestlers wrestle. Basketballs, they talked about more than likely they will be playing outside, not inside.
But you can do wrestling. You can throw mats outside anywhere on the grass and have a couple of wrestlers get on the mats. That's easy to do. But basketball's a whole different. What are you going to do? Assemble a whole entire court, a hard court, outside on the grass in the
Premier
field?
League, you can.
Is Bob
sure can.
buzzing? Hey, Bob, what are you drinking tonight? You didn't hear what we said? They're going to play outdoors. They're going to play on the asphalt. They don't need hardwood. It's the same game, Bob. Everybody
That is
started playing
stupid.
on the blacktop.
No,
It's not stupid.
no.
It's
I'm
a
gonna watch a
game.
minute
Bob,
of-
they're both
I'm
playing
gonna
on the
watch a
same
minute
damn
of-
blacktop. Those guys probably started. There was freshmen
That's
and
not the
7th and
same
8th
game.
graders.
That is
What?
not the same game.
It's the same game.
The ball's
No,
just
it's
dirty.
not the same game.
It's
Not even
the
close.
same.
Yeah, your
freaking
hands
game.
get dirty from the blacktop.
A ball
Yeah,
might not go
right.
in because the wind might take it every now and then, but it's the same game. Both teams
No,
have
no.
wind.
You get to hear the sound of the chain instead of the
They
net.
might do it because it's better than nothing. They might do it because it's better than nothing, but that's not the same game. No, I'm not buying it for a second.
John, do you think it's the same game? It's 2 points for a basket, 3 points for a 19 feet out. Still a free throw's worth 1 point. Still got to play with 48 minutes.
I'd actually rather see it played on the blacktop. I want to see some skinned up knees.
Absolutely. I loved it.
I want them to play shirts and skins too while they're at
He's a
it.
medic for basketball.
Shirts and skins. There you go.
That's right.
All right.
Then you can
I
go
want-
anywhere, any park.
I agree.
Yeah, then you can go anywhere.
Look, you go to Rucker Park,
They're-
man.
look,
Go to
look,
Rucker.
They're playing in other parts of the country with masks and no fans. Keep the fans out. Put a mask on, even though the masks are coming down. It's
No,
ridiculous.
fans
But
gotta
at least
be
don't
there,
be
Bob.
Afraid of putting a mask on.
Fans got to be there.
No, keep the fans out there.
no.
Who cares?
No,
Play it
they-
indoors. Keep the fans out.
Nope. They're not selling beer. It's not a concession thing. It's a support thing, Bob. It's a community thing.
I'm not buying blacktop basketball for CIM varsity. Sorry, not buying.
Bob's too good for blacktop basketball.
Bob's all
That's okay.
bougie. He's too good for that crap, man. Bob, there's no difference. There's absolutely no difference.
Bob's got his big baller brand shoes on too. You know he just got back from the blacktop.
Big difference.
I will get John Wooden on the phone if I could. Can't get him
That's gonna
anymore.
be a tough call,
He would
Mitch.
be able to tell us if whether or not there's any difference. I'm going to tell you right now. John Wooden would say today, no,
Play on the
basketball is
blacktop.
basketball. Peach basket or net doesn't matter.
Let's go play in the sand then. Let's go play in the sand.
Bob, now you're being an idiot. You cannot bounce a
No,
basketball
hey
on the
Bob,
sand.
Bob,
Does
nothing
it-
but chain, baby, nothing but chain. That's at the bottom of the chain, man. And the double rims.
Hey,
the
we gotta
double
get-
rims. Come on,
Hey,
man.
we got to get those
No.
shirts now. We got to
No,
coin.
thank you.
We got to
Nothing
coin
but
that
chain.
phrase like Pat Riley did
No,
three-peat. We got to get nothing but chain.
Nothing but chain. You heard it here first.
Let's do
John,
it.
the blacktop
John the
basketball
Baptist
guru.
over here. Nice job, John.
I already forgot what I said.
Hey, look at
Somebody
that.
better
I
remind me.
crossed over to another dimension. Look at that. Woo! There's the
Hey,
black
right
hole.
there,
We're not supposed to be in the same place.
Yeah, we're not. Well,
We're not.
I think you got a yardstick. We're
There
about
you
6
go.
feet apart.
See? There's
What's
Bob
wrong with
right
that?
there.
Look at that.
There's nothing wrong
Look,
with
there's
that.
James Harden over there.
There's nothing wrong with that at all, man. Plenty of room for fans.
Look, man. You get a broom out. You get Joey out there.
Yeah.
You sweep stuff around.
There's
a little
Rich on the
bit.
sideline waiting for the next game.
Yeah, I'm waiting for God next.
You ask Gary McKnight what he thinks of that. I don't think he's too happy.
Who cares about
Listen.
what Gary McKnight thinks?
Listen, I'm all for this. I want blacktop basketball in every school. Let's
Nothing
go.
but chain, baby.
We'll start a new league. Nothing,
but chain.
There you go. Nothing but chain.
All right, look, I'm tired of this show for tonight. We did nothing but talk crap all night. Did nothing but nonsense. Next week, promise we'll have some.
Should we introduce our phone screener?
We'll let you guys call in. Yeah, Joey, why don't you come
Hey,
on
Joey.
up here, Joey? Come up
here,
here,
bud.
man. Drive the
Come here
chicks
really
crazy.
quick.
What are you doing?
We got
Anyways,
a phone screener.
Next week, if you want to get on, because it'll be a little tough, people will be calling in. This is the guy you got to get past right
Get
here.
over there. There you go. Go to Rich.
Right there.
Go to
over
Rich.
here, over here.
Go to
Yeah.
Rich.
Look at your camera. This is our
Right
call screener.
You got to look.
Big Joe.
Look at the camera.
You want to get to the front of that line? You got to bribe him, right, Joey? All right.
Oh, look, he
Cash,
wants the main
small
seat.
bills. I'm sorry.
No, I'm supposed to be in the school.
Small bills only.
You want to get through, you got to schmooze him.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. We'll be back here next Friday for more fun and frolic, and we'll see what goes on. We got
Phone calls.
We got a lot of guests lined up for next month, so hang on, man. It's going to be a big eclectic group.
This should be called the Sports Cliff, Rich.
It's
not
going
the
to be
Sports
smoked
Corner.
out in here, man, if you know what I mean.
We're
Wait till you
falling
see
off
who our
the
fans are.
Sports Cliff, man.
All
not
right,
the
man.
corner.
And here's Joe. On behalf of little Joey Conti here, John Conti, Bob Gibson, Larry Zavala, I'm Rich Estrella saying so long from your friends here at the Sports Corner. Join us next Friday. And you can get us, if you want to see a replay of the show, tell your friends. It's on, what is it on, John?
I think LA 36. We're somewhere.
RE Sports Corner.
You probably
RE
watch us in
Sports
Mars. I heard people can go there now.
It's on everything, man.
We're live
All
in Mars.
All right, guys. Good
All right.
night, everybody. Good night, LA 36. Thank you for having us.